Cross the line.
That's the only thing you don't do. You can skip it. You can get in line, wait online. My staff is always making fun of me because I always open up the show with a giggle, and it's just because of this so much interesting, funny things going on behind the scenes before we actually get to start the show. Sometimes we're sitting here for like minutes at a time, just waiting and waiting and waiting. But you guys waited long enough. Welcome to the D. Essence Show each and every Wednesday at 9 p.m. I want to just wish you happy August. We are at the end of the summer, and unfortunately, we have 26 days till fall. I know some of you are probably very happy about that because fall weather is very needed in New York. But I'm kind of sad that our summer went so fast. I feel like I couldn't really do much. I want to get a little more sun. But hopefully we can have an Indian summer and it'll last us out. It's the month of Leo and Virgos. For you crazy Virgos out there. But you work very hard. And our Leos, king of the freaking jungle. Keep it moving. Also, a little moment of silence. Possibly. Okay. Just wanted to send my condolences to a tragedy that happened this past weekend at El Paso, Texas, and Ohio, Dayton, Ohio. It happened on a Saturday in the evening at Walmart. There was a massive shootout with a terrorist, the age of 21. I guess he has some hatred towards Latinos because that was his target. And we had one kind of a few hours later at Dayton, Ohio. And that was, I think, at 1 in the morning. So Sunday morning, we kind of all woken up to massacres. And it's devastating. There's been 31 total dead, lots of them wounded. We were all kind of waiting for President 45 to speak up. But apparently he was on location somewhere. And Monday, he finally made a announcement or a speech saying that he condemns racism and white supremacy, and that these are sinister ideologies that must be defended. And he also said during his public remarks at the White House that we need to focus on violent video games and mental illness. I'm going to keep it right there. He needs to get in line. He's right about the mental illness and possibly lifestyles because that all plays a thing in it. But a lot of people believe since he's come into office that a lot of people have been comfortable with showing this side of them and feel like they have the right to take someone's life for no apparent reason. Anyway, on a brighter note, I would like to introduce, I have a guest. I have a great show, by the way. I have two segments going on here with a performance. And my first guest is from NBC's The Voice, season 15. He was a competitor there. He was also a semi-finalist, top 24. And he has a successful single that he's working on right now, Find Me Here. And he has an EP, new EP, Too Far Gone. I wonder what he's speaking of. Brooklyn, New York native Zaxai is here with me today on the D. Essence Show. I'm popping your cherry, and welcome to the D. Essence Show. How are you today?
I'm feeling good.
Yes, and you're
Bronx.
here. Yes, we met in July. I was hosting the Big Bronx Festival with Josh DeLeon.
Shout out to my boy Josh.
Yes, and the Wolf Gang, and who else was there? There's so many artists there from the Bronx.
Oh, yeah.
Dance groups.
A whole bunch of people, man. Like, yeah, right, dance groups.
Yeah.
I think there were like 2 dance groups that have like youthful dance groups that were like killing. Amazing singers, amazing DJ. I forgot this guy's name, but the DJ's killing. It was just an awesome event to be at.
Yeah, and then you walk on, and your voice was stunning.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
And you didn't eat much. And I saw you and I said, I have to have him on the D. Essence Show. And now you're here.
I am here. We are in the building.
Yes. So what's going on? I brought BK to the BX.
Yep.
And you're happy to be here. Let BK know that.
Listen, Brooklyn, I mean, this is my second time doing the Bronx Net TV. Something I need y'all to do something, you know. But the Bronx is love, and I've always loved the Bronx. You know, it's a troop and a half, but I do love the Bronx.
But what did you say about the food here?
Oh, oof. I mean, where am I going to get some Latino food or some Latino food, some Hispanic food? That's what I'm going to go get, you know?
I'm just making sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just making sure. So, The Voice has been on for quite some time. It's featured on NBC. Yeah. Can you give the evening and the time?
Yeah.
They can watch it?
Well, they have 2 seasons. Yeah. It's on fall and spring season. That would be whenever it starts. I think the next one's going to start September 12th or something like that. Okay. It starts at 8 o'clock Mondays and Tuesdays.
All right. So let's talk a little bit before we get to that experience, because I know a lot of people who want to hear about it. I also know a lot of artists that are interested in being in competitions or having an opportunity as such, but are nervous, they don't have the patience to wait on the lines to get picked and so far, you know.
That's the whole
stuff. So let's start from the beginning. Your upbringing. You're from Brooklyn?
Yeah, from Brooklyn, but my family's from Haiti.
Nice. You were born here?
I was born here.
Family was born here too?
Born and raised. Well, no, my dad actually came off the boat, that's what they call it. But he was like the pioneer that brought everybody over, and then he brought my mom over when I like 18 and change, and then my grandma and my other grandma, my grandfather. Oh wow! I did have cousins here already, but that was like from my mom's side. Okay. But essentially, I'm like first generation, so. Nice. But he pretty much pioneered that entire thing.
Okay. Yes, and what was your living at home? Like what was it like?
My whole family's animated. Like I have to compose myself here for a little bit, but trust me, if I wasn't on camera, I'd be going crazy. That's just.
I want you to go crazy. You're comfortable.
No, I'm comfortable, but I mean, like my entire family just animated. It was full of culture, full of food. I love me. That's my hobby. I love eating. Yeah. It's just a lot of just animated goodness. I grew up in church too. Okay. I grew up in a Haitian American church, so. Everything was like the French, Creole, sometimes English, and then when it was time for English, I was already used to singing in Creole and French, so that was also my background.
Can you say GetInLine in French?
GetInLine. Why'd I say it in Creole?
Go ahead.
Well, if you're talking about in slang, which would be like faire spell, which is like, like respect yourself or like get line.
That's perfect. That's exactly what GetInLine means. Spell, I love to hear it in different languages. But no, that's good. That's good. We're good.
I don't know.
You're good. You're off the hook. You did good. All right. So when did the music start? Were you singing like since young? Or?
I started from 12. If we're talking professionally, I would say 17, 18. But I always grew up like singing in the choir, and I didn't know I could sing. My mom is the one that found out I could sing, and I was singing "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine Dion. You know, you a little boy, your voice is like man high for no reason. Yeah. You didn't hit puberty at all. Yeah. You feel me? So then I hit church, and then church I started singing in the choir, and then I started singing professionally at 17, 18 with a touring gospel band. And then from there, I graduated college, and I just wanted to continue music. I was a psychology major, but I really wanted to do music. That was like my passion, and every time I wanted to escape it, I really couldn't. So, there it was.
All right, so talk about your experience then. How did we bump into The Voice?
So The Voice and I, we've had a long journey. Yeah, I remember trying out for the first season and that long line, like you said, at the Javits Center. And oh man, I was in that line.
It's a big space,
It's massive. Yeah, it's massive. I didn't get through. I tried again. I want to say for the second season, third season. I kind of gave up for a little bit. I was like, all right, I'm enjoying the hustle. I'm enjoying the grind. I'm enjoying the hustle. And then they contacted me, actually, when I was filming Find Me Here.
Look at that.
Yeah, they contacted me. And my manager was like, you have nothing else to lose. And I said, I forget, I'll do it.
It was meant for you to do it.
It was meant for me to do it at that moment.
Yeah, see, sometimes you got to let things go. Not forget about it or give up. Because I don't like that word that you just said, give up.
True.
But sometimes you have to put things to the side, and then when it's time, God finds a way to give it back to you. So it was perfect timing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I give up on them, but now I give up on my dreams. I can never give up my dreams.
No, never.
It's a major negative.
Never. So they give you a call back, and like, how long is this process? Like, what do you guys go through once you get selected?
You go through the whole long line, like you said. Yeah. They call you, do a whole bunch of different auditions, another set of auditions, and then you finally hit the blind auditions. It's like, I want to say, a bunch behind the camera. I forgot. I honestly lost count because it was constant.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like, I want to say from what they said, like more than 10,000 people. Like, and you just keep going. Yeah, it was a long process.
And did you feel nervous with it? Because I know certain people, they're very comfortable in their space, but then when they get to this plateau, they feel like they're being judged against 1,000 other singers.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at that point in my career, which was like last year, I mean, I started to feel more confident in my singing and my ability. And at the same time, I was happy with where I was. Like, from New York, that's what we do. You can understand it from the Bronx. We grind. That's everything's a hustle. Yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't say I was nervous per se. I was content with whatever happened. Okay. And it's funny, when that usually happens, when you're content with all that happens and you're okay with it, that's when everything kind of opens its doors for you, you know? Mm-hmm. So at that moment, I wasn't necessarily nervous. I got nervous, I want to say, as I was on the show, not even because I didn't want to like mess up. I just didn't want to fall because that stage was like slippery.
Is it?
Like it's hella slippery. Like I just didn't want to fall. And me being a singer in New York City, like that's like our bread and butter. Like I didn't want to mess up. I'm like, yo, that's gonna be on my record. Like I ain't gonna get hired nowhere. Like so that was like my biggest thing. But essentially, yeah, I just kind of went for it.
So what does it feel like to come out onto the stage and have all these yelling fans? You have judges in front of you. You're singing. You're doing renditions, right?
Yeah.
But you're practicing before. Mm-hmm. How is that all feeling? Does it feel surreal? Does it get you more excited? Does it stress you out? Like, how did you feel? What were you feeling like after kind of being in the process of it?
Well, I would say during my blind auditions, I was too tired for me to even like.
What do you mean by blind?
Okay,
auditions?
well that's
for
the
ones
first.
who don't know.
So that's the first televised round for The Voice.
Okay.
So around that time, I wasn't honestly thinking anything. You know. It's more so later on. Mm-hmm. The kind of what's going through your head is honestly.
You kind of just daze out, right?
Yeah, you do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Even though they're in front of you, it's surreal, you know. And but because I've practiced this moment since I was like 13, and like I'm always picturing myself in front of Madison Square Garden or picturing myself in front of Staples Center, you know. Yes. So and I perform almost every weekend. You know, I felt like this is just nothing else that's new to me.
So it's natural.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, for the most part. That's what Jay had said. She's like, you just look like a seasoned performer. I'm like, I was like, oh, we're doing it from what you're doing live. You
that's
just
a great compliment.
Yeah, it was.
To be called a natural is a great compliment. Who was your favorite judge? No offense to anyone else.
No. You know what? It was a tie. It was a tie between J Hud and Kelly. Coincidentally, those were the ones that turned for me.
Okay.
And I was originally on J Hud, and then Kelly stole me. But that's only because I got a chance to get close with them. Mm-hmm. You know. So. Because
do you actually have time with them behind the scenes?
Mm-hmm.
They're very humble like that. So just kind of hang out and chill.
J Hud is awesome.
Advice.
Kelly's awesome.
Did she throw your shoe? Did she throw her shoe?
She did. She threw her shoe. Well, she threw her notepad. She threw her notepad during with the third televised round, which is knockout, which I was mad hype. I was like, come on, I got something. I need.
Because for the ones that don't know, every time she really like enjoyed someone's performance, she would throw her shoe, right?
Yeah, and apparently that was like a thing.
That was her thing.
Yeah, it was a thing, but like even like half of America didn't understand it. I'm like, don't worry, that's a good thing. Like, why is she always throwing her shoe? I'm like, nah, let her throw her shoe.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I want.
That's what I want. You know, everybody knows that.
Yeah,
but I was like that. That was, that's my joint.
Did you have any fellow competitor that you really enjoyed but never told? Like, was there someone there that you would just like, oh, wow, if I don't win, this person should definitely get it?
Honestly, no. Only because I'm vocal. I'm very vocal. I'm always telling how I feel. Like, I got no problem saying it, you know. But at the same time, with my season, everybody was just really good, like super good. Even the coaches said, like, the overall season is just, like, too good, you know?
Yeah.
They even wanted to spread us apart.
Yeah,
it did, but I mean, when you're securing yourself as a musician, you secure yourself as a person, like you're not afraid, you just do what you need to do, and you can appreciate everybody else's gifts and talents. So that entire time, I'm like, whoo, you're killing it, like, whoo, you're killing it. And everybody's kind of sharpening each other, like iron sharpens iron. Right. So that's exactly what we're doing as singers. I grew because of them, and I can honestly say that. Did
you have any celebrities come in?
Oh, yeah.
Like, who was...
Oh, Mariah Carey was definitely the...
You lied.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. She walked in, I said, damn.
Oh my
I held that joint together. I was like...
She's one of my favorites, so...
Yo.
Are you kidding me?
Yo, she walked in. I didn't even know it was Mariah, too. And it's funny, because production...
Isn't she prettier in person?
Was she ever? I ain't gonna hold you.
She's gorgeous in person. She's one of those people that you see in live. Because I've met her in person, and I'm like, wow, she's even pretty in person. Mm-hmm. And she's not as tall as you think she is either.
Nope, I'm much taller than her. I was like hovering over. There's like a video on the Hulu if you go. She's mad cool.
Oh, I gotta look at this.
I'm like hovering over. I'm just like, damn, she smells like.
How does she smell?
Like unicorn and gumdrops and shit. Like this shit was delicious.
I love it. That is so cool. I'm so glad I asked you that question. That is so cool. Anybody else?
Halsey was pretty dope.
Okay.
So Halsey's like, it's funny. Just when
that's so cool. I'm so jealous.
I didn't know who she was like in front of me. I guess like her face wise, but I knew her name. Like, and I listened to like all her music, and that's just me. Like in New York, you know, we don't necessarily know how the artists look like or whatever. Maybe we just download the music because we're constantly grinding. You know,
you're constantly on the go.
So she's like, I'm like, oh, they have Halsey here, but she even said her name. Like, oh, hey, what's up? I'm Halsey. I'm like, oh,
hi,
damn, what's up?
She's attractive too.
I'm your fan.
Any love affairs?
Love affairs, no, not with me.
No, you wouldn't
Not
tell
with me.
anyway, right?
I'm just smart. No, honestly,
okay.
there was no love affairs. At the time, I was in a relationship
Okay.
with somebody, so I was kind of keep myself out of trouble, call it a day.
How does that work in a relationship for the ones that are in relationships but also trying to get this dream going?
It's
Because I know
difficult.
you're away, right?
It's
or are you
difficult.
going home after every taping?
Oh, with the show, you're
Yeah.
you're there for like entire month and change. Like
Wow.
the deeper you go into it, the longer you stay.
And you're able to communicate with
Yeah,
family and stuff?
for sure,
Okay.
for sure.
All
You can
right.
use the phone, that's not a problem. On production days, nah, like they take that dream
Okay.
away. Like it was like school. It's like you're not using anything.
Really? Did she ever come to see you perform?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, but it also depends on the rounds too. Like sometimes they'd allow family to come, sometimes they didn't.
Okay.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So what were you saying that not everybody watches The Voice? And
Yeah.
what's the reasoning for that?
Well, okay.
I know a lot of people who watch it.
Well, they do,
People
but
like the concept, the whole turning around and seeing who the voice is. Like, it's kind of unique.
for sure. It is, and I think that's why The Voice holds that #1 reality singing contest
And who
show.
doesn't want to look at Adam Levine all the damn time?
He's a good-looking dude. He's no longer on it for this next season,
Oh,
though.
damn it.
Yeah, sucks to be him.
It sucks to be us who's the eye candy now. But anyway, it's an interesting concept. It's
Carson,
kind of,
no.
is it?
I don't know. I'm just acting stupid.
It's totally different from American Idol that we all kind of grew up on.
It's completely
so.
different. What I appreciated about The Voice was everything was about your voice,
Yeah.
Like they try to hone your skill, like everything about your vocals, like your ability. They make sure if somebody's on the show, like they're good. Like you have to make sure they're good and you're going forward from it. So, I forgot the other part you were asking me, but
No, that's
yeah, essentially.
fine. Do they try to change your look after they see that you're not looking like the way they expected you to look?
I wouldn't say they try to change your look. They work with you. With me, I mean, like I already came into this like a seasoned, artist. So for the most part, it was still my image. But I'm not gonna lie, wardrobe was killing. Like they had ideas that I would have never thought of, that helped like heighten my artistry. So
You do dress very nice, and even when I met
thank
you,
you,
you
thank
looked
you.
very presentable. You had your own
appreciate
style
it, I
going. I think I
appreciate you.
complimented your shoes or something.
Shoot.
It was nice. It was
Little
nice. I wish I had
shoe.
like some foot cam. What's going on with the music industry? What is your thing now? So right now we're independent, right?
Yeah.
You have an EP out. You have tons of videos, tons of covers, and original songs. What are we looking forward to with you?
Another project, because in 2019, you have to constantly release music, constant, because for whatever reason, we live in an age where you put something out, people forget like that. They forget your name. People can barely pronounce my name now, so you constantly, you're laughing.
Yeah, I wish you spelled it simpler because it's very simple to say.
It looks cool, but
Yeah.
but I'm like, well, from my knowledge, I'm the only singing Zaxai with an X at least. So
Okay.
that was pretty dope. So
Okay.
thanks, Mom. But
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But essentially, right now I'm touring my project, and it's small, like, little spot dates here and there, different cities. Next is Detroit. After that, it's Cali. Next was going to be Vegas. So we'll see what's about that. And that one's with a few of my castmates. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's cool. And I also saw you did something with Bobby Storm.
Oh, that's my homie. Yeah, Bobby's a beast.
Yes, I've interviewed her
Yeah.
at Nightline, and I
Yeah.
tried to get her back. She's like, I'm just so busy. I'm like, okay.
I got you. Bobby, you got to come on the show. Step
Yeah,
in the game,
she's so dope. She really is dope, and she's a Gemini like me, so we connect.
My brother's Gemini, so there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
both my brothers.
that. Who do we grow up listening to? What kind of
Me?
music in the house? Yeah.
Oh, there's a plethora of artists. We grew up listening to. It's funny, Aventura, but I didn't know it was Aventura until I grew up. Because I thought growing up, my dad had like the crazy slick back hair, and I was like, Papi, am I Haitian or am I Dominican? I don't even know what I am anymore. He's like, sir, we just listen to music, so go ahead.
Okay.
So I grew up listening
that.
to everybody.
Because, there's a huge deal between DR and Haiti, but I've been hearing lately that it's been okay and that there's a lot of Haitians in DR now, too.
They've long time.
Yeah.
Long time. Like
Yeah.
one of my best friends, Joaquin Rivs, who has a killing single, Fuego, I just have to plug him. Like
Go ahead.
we try our best to fuse that sound and fuse our brotherhood together and just
Yeah.
fuse our two cultures together, and that's just a testament to music that we listen to. So like I grew up listening to Hispanic music, Haitian music, French music. If we're talking like my all-time hero, Michael Jackson, and then we got Elton John, and we got the Bee Gees, we got Chicago, we got Shaka Khan, we got I just grew up listening
it's very
to music, and the gospel music too. So
Yeah, so what chose you to do R&B? Do you consider your music to be R&B? What makes you different?
I consider singer-songwriter soul. I think because I'm Haitian and I'm black and from Brooklyn, people assume that I'm an R&B artist. But at the same time, I do have do sing R&B songs, and I have a falsetto. So I kind of sort of fall into that category. And I have released songs like that. But like if I'm writing my own songs with my guitar and whatever it may be, it's like singer-songwriter soul. And only because of what's considered R&B today. Like I wouldn't say I'm Breezy. You know, Breezy is an R&B artist. You know,
Chris Brown.
Yeah. You know, John Bellinger is a R&B artist, not me. You know, like Trey, that's an R&B artist. You know,
Trey Songz.
See, that's
He
R&B.
brought R&B back to me. Because I felt like when he first came out, it was kind of dying out for Young, and he brought back that R&B for me.
That whole
it was like a new Keith Sweat, like just the visuals and the sexuality, and it was amazing that when he went back into his VA comfort with, the rapping, I was like, but yeah.
No,
we need the R&B. There's a lot of R&B singers out here that are really doing good stuff.
Underground, New York underground is like crazy.
Yeah.
Like there's a plethora of artists that people may or may not be able to experience because it's so saturated, you know. But the talent is there. Like it's anywhere. Like you walk down the street in New York City, you're gonna see somebody that's killing, you know. And it's just a whole circuit. It's just people just have to do their research if they're really avid music lovers.
Any hardships that you've faced as an artist?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of us as an indie, it's you constantly have to like work to make a name for yourself.
Yeah.
One, two, finances as an indie, like you don't have a label backing you haven't backing you. You don't have just things that you need to push you to that forefront. And if you're an indie, it's just a matter of your resolve and your hustle. Like, can I out hustle somebody? Can I whatever? And it's not even for competition. It's just a matter of, okay, I've got to do what I need to do to reach that next level. And if I stop, then I won't reach that next level, you know? So that would be the craziest thing. There's more so finances and just doing it, you know, having the whole weight of the artistry in your back. Definitely.
All right, so some fun stuff, even more fun stuff. How's your summer going?
Summer's been nothing but work. I took July off, but it's been nothing but work. Just grinding my butt off.
Any love life?
No love to life, just chilling.
We're not dating?
You know, I said, I was on The Voice, had a relationship, post that. I'm chilling.
Yeah, what's chilling to you? Because I hear a lot of that being said with the males out here.
With the males?
Yes.
Nah.
Just chilling.
I'm just chilling. In other words, what I would have been spending money on relationship-wise, I now spend on the craft and artistry and in business, which isn't a bad thing.
No, females are expensive.
You never lie.
Well, you know, you want to do things with a partner. You
gotta, hey, like you trying to listen to this guitar and then call it a day? Because that's what you're going to get.
How is that with the females, though? Like, when you mention you're a singer and you play instruments, is that the only instrument you play, by the way?
No, I play percussion as well, but I don't consider myself like a complete like percussionist.
Right, it's more guitar.
More guitar and then vocals, but
because the guitar is very sexy, you know. You can make love. You can make love to a woman with the guitar, you know. I'm just saying.
I mean, hopefully with the performance we'll see. I made
my guests blush. I love it.
Gosh, no, but I actually don't even tell people I'm a singer. I'd be like, hey, follow me. And you find out for yourself. I mean, if I'm performing, then you kind of have no choice. All right. But I don't usually tell people I'm a singer.
So tell our viewers before we go to break, and then we're going to go to a nice special performance right here live in the studio. You're going to perform for us?
Yes, I will.
You're going to bring that guitar out?
It's coming out.
All right. So I can fall in love?
You can fall in love.
All right.
On the DS show.
Let your viewers know where they can find you, and if anything you want to promote quickly, you can. Feel free. And our cameras are right behind me.
You can find me at Zaxai Official. That's ZAXAI _official. You can find my music on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere. Just type in ZAXAI and you'll find that. YouTube, subscribe, and pretty much that. And I want to tell you.
I love it. Thank you for being very vulnerable, very comfortable.
Don't mind.
I love that you're here with me. Hopefully we can have you back.
I'm here.
Don't become too busy.
I'll bring Bobby too. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, we can do something. We're going to be right back here on the DS show. We're going to take a small little break. You'll see a video from my guests, and then we'll be back with a special performance. And then I have 3 amazing individuals coming on set. You just wait and see. We'll be right back to the DS show. Get in line. Awesome, babe. Beautiful.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Zaxai, aka The New Smooth. This is Stephen Hall on keys, and you're listening to Too Far Gone When Love Hits the Ground off of my latest EP, Too Far Gone. Was it me? Was I not good enough? Am I now this person, this burden to love? I believe we both ran out of trust, but we still had purpose, a future for us. If our love hits the ground, pick its pieces back up and fight for one more round. If our love hits the ground, you don't run, stay and fight. You're too far gone to get It's me. Or maybe it's my past. The truth is you loved me, but that didn't last. Tell me, 'cause I can't seem to grasp why I play the villain and you have clean hands. Why'd you have to leave while my eyes are bleeding in the middle of the streets? Tell me, why'd you have to go? 'Cause love is eternal, it's not just for show. And our love hits the ground, pick its pieces back up and fight for one more round. If our love hits the ground, you don't run, stay and fight. You're too far gone to get wide. She said, spiraling out of control, it's about time, let me go. We're spiraling out of control. We're spiraling out of control, it's about time, let me go. We're spiraling out of control. We're spiraling out of control, it's about time, let me go. We're spiraling out of control. We're spiraling out of control, it's about time, let me go. We're spiraling out of control. If our love hits the ground, pick its pieces back up and fight for one more round. If our love hits the ground, you don't run, stay and fight. You're too far gone to get wide. If our love hits the ground, pick its pieces back up and fight for one more round. If our love hits the ground, you don't run, stay and fight. You're too far gone to get wide. Hey, my name is Zaxai, and this is my single off of my latest EP, Too Far Gone. It's called Find Me Here.
stars is keeping us apart. Curse the miles between our spaces. Truth is, without you, life is dark. And you're the light my heart's been chasing. If I could roll the tides, I'd move the ocean floor till we see eye to eye. Our lips could touch and then my soul would feel alive. My mind at peace, my flesh at ease, because you're by my side. Find me here. Take that flight, a leap of faith, and join me here. Don't deny what's deep inside. Live here, my dear. There's room enough for two if you would choose to be by my side. Eight hours is keeping you from home. Don't believe the lies he's making. Ooh, right here is where you belong. Me and you getting lost, finding new places. If I could roam the skies, I'd fly to where you are, then maybe we could try. The thought of us two getting lost in love tonight. My mind at peace, my flesh at ease, because you're by my side. Find me here. Take that flight, a leap of faith, and join me here. Don't deny what's deep inside. Live here, my dear. There's room enough for two if you would choose to be by my side. I know this might come as a surprise. Right now, you're always on my mind. What I remember most about our time is your eyes and the fact that you're shy. How your smile took a piece of my life. Every day that it passes by, it's like hell because I'm scared to say hi. Find me here. Take that flight, a leap of faith, and join me here. Don't deny what's deep inside. Live here, my dear. There's room enough for two if you would choose to be by my side.
And we're back. You just saw a special performance from my last special guest from NBC The Voice, season 15. Zaxai. His voice is absolutely gorgeous. So let's please go out there and support him. He's on all social media. But now I have 3 individuals that I've been working my booty off for, emailing, but they always say what you want, you got to wait for, right? You got to get in line, be patient with it, and the day has finally arrived. I've been in contact with them for probably since mid-year or the beginning of the year, but they're so busy. They're called the Mural Kings for a reason, because they are the kings of the Bronx, Queens, New York, and what they do is they spread the love and the art across our cities. They've been around since the 80s, and we're about to get in their story right now. I have Tats Cru on set. all three of you guys, which is very important and an honor because sometimes there's a crew and one comes or two come, but you guys are all here as a trio.
Yes, we're here today.
So welcome to the DSN show.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we got Nicer.
Yes.
We got Bio.
Yes.
And we got BG183, right?
Right, yes.
Where's the names coming from?
Oh, wow.
That's where you right in the fire.
All right, so my name, I got it, just when I was started writing graffiti, like you don't know. Like, and during my time, there's no internet, so you got to really go out there and find a name. So I used to play a lot of softball, and they used to say, bring the batters in. So that's what I did. I brought the batters in. So that name sounded really good. So BRNG. So I just took the first letter and the last letter and put it together. Okay. And then the 183, it was like I used to battle, with this one guy all the time. And he said, yo, you got like 183 style.
Oh.
So that number stuck in my head. So I put it together. But then when I started doing the subways illegally, I realized that the Vandal police was looking for me at 183rd Street.
Oh,
but I was not from the hood. No, I was even from 183rd. So I was from 163rd. But that's how I started with my name.
Nice. And Bio, you?
For me, it was just I was in the project. I grew up in Bronx project, so I was in the staircase with a friend of mine, just trying out different names, different things, and then I was trying out VIO, but then he did a BIO, and I liked the way his letters looked. He was like, why don't you try this one? I was like, all right, BIO, and that became my name. I've been now using it close to 40 years.
Wow. Nicer?
Oh, for me, well, I actually started writing nice.
Yeah, because it's not nice, it's nicer. Right. Are we going to get to the nicest?
It's just a nickname.
It's only a nickname. According to my wife, it's only a nickname. So, but the thing is that back in the 80s, there was a time where it was kind of cool to use like special endings at the end of your name. So if your name was D, it would be D-ism.
Okay.
Or D-er. So there was these different endings that we would add to the end of our names. So I did a train one time and then added an R at the end. So someone saw that and they said, and I said, oh, I did that. And they were like, oh, you're nicer. I said, no, I'm nice. And then they introduced me to someone else as nicer. And then I was like, it kind of sounds strange, but it's kind of cool. And I just kept it. It was just stuck, yeah.
Are we going to get that to the nicest?
Listen. I don't know where that's going. But,
so, I mean, we go back all the way to the 80s, right?
Yeah,
now we're in 2000, almost 20.
Well, we started painting from, like Bio said, like BG said, actually, subway trains. And it was before the internet, before there were magazines, before Hollywood was involved, before social media was even invented. So when we did it for ourselves. And we did it for people that were into, like we had like our own little underground social community. But it was like a subculture amongst New York City. So
it kind of still is, don't you? Do you agree with that?
Well, no, because
depends where. It's
because of the internet. It's now global.
Okay.
So it's different. It's a subculture, but it's a global subculture now.
So how did you guys come together in the 80s?
Oh, wow. I met Bio in James Monroe High School. I was in the weight training class, and he was in the PE class.
Well, he goes like this.
I was like, I was working out the whole time. But it was like a story because I saw Bio, and
with the red gym shorts.
I needed to get a lock to put my gym clothes, my regular clothes in. I didn't have one. So I looked around and I saw him. I said, yo, can I put my clothes in there? He looked at me like...
Little punk.
I put my clothes and then I went to the gym. And the next day I saw him again. I left my lock. I was like, I keep forgetting my lock. And I said, where's this guy at? So I found him again and then...
About a week later, I had to give him the combination.
Sherry Lockers, huh?
He was like, here, take the lock.
And then I saw him again because I used to have major art class in James Monroe High School. And then I'm looking... And I looked straight ahead, but he kept hiding from me. Like, he said, that's the guy from the gym. So he kept hiding from me. And I said,
what, you need a paintbrush now?
I said, yo, you here? He said, yeah, I'm here. So, and then I saw him drawing, we became friends.
Rest is history. Okay, and then how did you guys link up with Nicer?
We did it. We tried to get away from him.
No, actually, what happened was, in that same major art class, so BG was a senior.
Okay.
Bio was,
the oldest
I don't know.
You were in the middle somewhere.
I was in the middle.
Right? He was like 10 like
Junior.
10th grade,
You're still
11th
in the
grade.
middle.
I'm still
Yeah, it's still in the middle. So I was a freshman. So I came in, and I would go to the back of the class to go sharpen my pencil and look, and these guys were sitting next to each other, and they were doing letters, because graffiti was something that was looked down upon.
Yeah.
So I
it
noticed
was known as vandalism too, right?
Relax. You need to relax.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll get in line.
Vandalism. So what happened was I saw that they was doing graffiti, and I was like, wow, I'm into that. Like, I just got into it. So I kept asking them, like, oh, snap, like, can you show me how to do this? Can you show me how to do it? And they ignored me because they were older than me. So I had to follow them around, like, the lunchroom and everything.
Goodness.
And then finally, I was that kid that kept throwing rocks at them and running, and then they finally threw a rock back at me, and then that was it. And that was since 1980, 81.
Early 80s, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But now, I'm still trying to leave. I can't get rid of them. Every time I move, they find me.
So give us a little look into graffiti and how it was in the 80s compared to now. I mean, even dealing with the spray cans, I looked at a documentary of you guys, and you guys went on to explain how there's different caps and different spray bottles. Can we just do a little bit of that?
I mean, we start, again, like, early on. I mean, we're probably what you consider third generation New York graffiti artists, but back then there were no spray cans. Like, I mean, there were spray cans, but there weren't an unlimited amount of colors. We had a set palette, maybe 10, 12 colors possibly. The caps, which we used to go to the supermarket and take the caps off the spray starch because they sprayed fatter.
Okay.
So we would go steal the tops from those cans to use on spray cans. So, like, a lot of the tools that exist today didn't exist back then. So when we had caps, we would use them, and then we would sit them in a jar of nail polish remover overnight. Then the next day you see us with a needle trying to get to reuse it. Nowadays you go online and order caps, and back then we had one red, maybe a light red and a dark red. Now you got 20 shades of a color, and the paint is 100 times better. It's just so much advancement throughout the years that we've watched, from simple things like the caps, the paint. Now you go watch it online. When we were learning, we would have to spend hours waiting at a train station to get like a 1 minute view of a train, and if you like the colors, you'll be like, oh no, it left. Now I have to wait several more hours till it comes back again and try to see it again.
So you guys studied like train schedules?
Well, you spent the whole day there. You spent our whole life consisted of being on the trains from morning to night.
Like I used to, like when I got into more like the graffiti, also you had the markers. Like
I was just gonna say that. Is that tagging or
that's a tagging part? Like
too?
before you get into the graffiti, like we master the way of writing. Like doing different type of tag, even from script to any type of.
Yes, I remember that.
But we had to make our own markers.
Oh yes.
Like we had to go like really like take the erasers from the school
and rip them apart.
And then take the roll-on for the underarm, take the ball out, and then you stuff the eraser, and then you fill up with ink, so and you go inside bombing of the train. So before you even did the outside of the train, you first start doing the inside of the train.
And the ink we would steal was that purple ink they used to use years ago in the supermarket for the stampers.
Oh yeah.
They have it's like a purple dye actually, and it's really difficult to remove. So we would use that in the. That's why if you look at a lot of old photos of Subway, the ink looks purple because it's that supermarket ink.
Okay.
And then it's all different type of shit. You had like the uni Y that was like thin. You had the skinny one. The best one is you take that same marker that I mentioned earlier, and you squeeze, you get a flood. Sure. So I see you let the other writers know that I have more ink than you.
Oh, that's what it
And at the same time, you drip over the other artists when it's dripping down. So, but you go home with a lot of I got a little bit
like this.
Yeah. I mean, what they're saying is capturing a time in New York City where it was so raw and it was so full of energy. What ended up happening was we didn't have formal training for none of this. This we learned on our own. Yeah. We learned it through other graffiti artists and stuff like that. But we saw graffiti go through an evolution where if you would have told me 30 years ago, 40 years ago that I can design a graffiti piece on a computer, print it out, and paint it on the wall, look at you like you were out of your mind but that's the norm nowadays. because our norm back then was something that we were so thirsty to do, because New York City back then was going through a deficit where we didn't have enough money to clean trains. We didn't have enough money even to pick up the trash.
Yeah.
We were in such financial problems.
Not where I live.
No, those projects are always good. No, but what ended up happening was it was because of not having that, I guess, birthed hip hop. And but I mean, still to be doing it today and to be coming from subway tunnels and hiding from police and painting, and then to be honored, to paint stuff for like the Smithsonian Institute, or to be doing it for this long and travel around the world.
I mean, you've done it for schools, you've done it for TV stations.
It's still for me. We're still like, it's shocking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's.
How long does it? There's so much to talk about. Do you have any recollection of tunnels, and did you guys get harassed by cops and stuff like that?
Like for the tunnel part, it's like before, like now you look up on the internet, you could type in graffiti and it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Back then, for you to see any type of graffiti, you had to travel.
Right.
So there was a tunnel that I used to go, and it was a lead piece that you would go in, like on the fort. It's like going to 14th Street. There's an abandoned train station that was all the illegal graffiti was done. So you would go between the cars and you would see all these trains. So back then you really have to travel. I used to go all the way to Yankee Stadium. By the 4 train, there was a Mitch 77 piece, and that was like amazing. So then after that you go to Brooklyn, you see some Lees. So that's the only way you travel, to see other people's pieces, and that's how you improve your artwork.
And it's dark in the tunnels, right?
Yeah.
So you're bringing lights with you and all of that?
There's light in some sections, but yeah, for the most part, it's dark and dirty.
Any craziness that you've seen in tunnels that we don't know about in New York?
We've gone through some crazy stuff.
Can I get one story? Anything off the top of the head?
One time we got raided, which is getting chased, and we were running. It was 138th Street, and this particular tunnel connects all the way to like 125th, and
I lost my boot.
He lost his boot.
Cinderella lost her shoe?
I stepped in mud and I pulled my foot out, and I had to run the whole thing with one boot on.
But it was good because it was a white leather boot.
We get out into the street.
It was freestyle.
It was freestyle. It was freestyle. So we get into the street, and I told Bob,
that's all her fault.
I told Bob, what I'm gonna do with this? Just one boot. Bob said, give it to me. He threw it. He was like.
So you were like
our friend that was a breakdancer had extra sneakers. He was like, here, put these on, and that's how I got home.
I don't know if you guys ever done it, but how do you get to like the highest of a building, or like just weird places that you're like, how do they even get up to the billboards?
You climb.
You guys literally
it's dedication. Like if you really want, see the whole idea of like the evolution of graffiti has always been someone put their name on something. They found a spray can, put their name on something to mark like, this is who I am. Someone else saw that and they said, you know what, I'm gonna do that thing, but I'm gonna put an outline around it. And someone else saw those 2 steps and said, man, I'm gonna do those same 2 things, but I'm gonna put dots in mine. So everybody that got involved in it created like an evolution, like a step level.
Right.
So it got to a point where it started here in New York City or here on the East Coast, and then when it started traveling across the United States, we started getting pictures from people like in California. These guys would climb on signs in the middle of a highway, like
that's exactly what I'm speaking of. Yeah.
Yeah, and they would climb over and you're like, how dedicated are you? Like at my age right now, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
Pay me, I'll do that. Pay me, but it's all about like the energy and the. You have to have that hunger.
The reasoning behind that is because in graffiti, the name of the game is fame.
Right.
So when you step out to the street, you're constantly looking, all right, where's
the best
Where can I
spots?
get the most views?
Wow.
So to put it today's terms, like
want to be seen.
Where's
it's like the social media.
So if you're in Midtown, you see a rooftop, you're like, okay, there's a lot of traffic. I got to catch that spot. So that's what it is. It's just where can I catch a spot where I can get the most views?
What is the most disrespectful thing that ever has happened to your art? Or what is considered the most disrespectful?
The most disrespectful thing would be
what would it take?
Someone going over you.
Okay.
Right.
You know,
okay, so that still stands.
Yeah, but it's like
Have you had that with any murals lately?
No.
God forbid?
No, I mean,
Okay.
we've been around a long time, so that normally doesn't happen with our work.
Yeah.
And then if it happens, it's like little, what we consider
Minor
chicken
stuff,
scratch
yeah.
that we go
Oh,
and touch
okay.
up. So
Because
it's
one
like,
of the things, like for us, has always been paint goes over paint. So
Yeah.
if you paint, so if we paint it and they paint it on us, then we'll paint over it. So it's like, for us, it's not a big deal. That's why if someone once asked me, are you afraid of making mistakes? I'm like, nah, because paint goes over paint. So it's like,
Okay.
that's our eraser.
How do you guys come up with style? Is
Oh,
is it ever
whatever,
evolving?
tell your theory.
Oh,
Whatever
you like, I did. Yeah, whatever you don't like, they did.
That's what we say at my job. If you didn't like
see
the
that?
tour, my
see
name
that?
is someone else. If you did, it's
don't
the
like it, there
essence.
you go.
Oh, that's what it is?
No, I mean, for us, it depends on the
Nah, we all have different styles.
Yeah, it depends
And
on the
it's like-
project. It depends on the day. It could be like one day you just don't feel like painting, and someone else will be like, all right, I have an idea. All right, that's what we're doing today. That's your idea. We're running with that, you know?
And you guys all have different
Styles.
different styles,
Right.
different social medias.
Yes.
You have different projects separate
Yeah.
from each other.
Yes.
Is that something that people reach out for you to do, and maybe, or do you agree with it as a team, or?
Like basically, like we get a call in the office, and we work as a team together.
If you can catch them, because it's so busy.
So and then now
Which
if
is a great
somebody
thing.
if somebody say, yo, BG 183, I want one of your paintings, and then I will give one of my paintings. But with me, like my style is basically I could do everything in the book. From hand style
And outside.
In
and
the book
outside
and
the book and inside. Like I started as an artist.
Okay.
So my mission was like, to be the best finger painter when I was drawing, when I was little, or the best chalk, the best oil painter, acrylic, whatever I did with art. But graffiti was something that it was different. So and then you could be outside with it.
Yeah.
Like you could, get chased by police, or the old lady in the window
exciting.
would be like, ¿Qué está haciendo? And you're like, okay, you run. But that art brought me to do like stuff that I never thought I could do.
Yeah.
Like I replicated the Mona Lisa by using a spray can. I would go to a neighborhood and I would create, the neighborhood scene on my paintings, and people enjoy that. So when they call me like, BJ, I want you to do this, and I just get it done, like we specialize, like, if I look the way I paint, I will look at nicer paint, so far, and then we get each other's style. So that's how, like when we first started, our mentality was more like, let's get better. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
when we spray.
We convinced ourselves we were good.
Like, like
Yeah,
when
we
people
were.
were telling us, like, I would do something, and I thought it was like the worst thing I did. I remember me and Bio did like our first train together, and I caught the most drip. It was drippy, and one guy came, and he seen us like, he said, yo, this looks incredible. I love it. And I looked at him, I'm like, what?
That's amazing.
You like my work? And that's how I knew that, that.
The artwork is amazing.
See,
the
we are
hands,
good.
The mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. I mean, it feels great to come out of your house and see your name on a mural, because I've seen so many of them in the Bronx, just in the hometown. And now, I mean, we've been expanding to Queens, Brooklyn. Like I said, you've taken over, you've done MSG, you've done schools for the kids.
Yeah, we've done many schools here in New York. We've done nonprofits.
You got an awards.
We've gotten awards.
You
we
guys-
were ambassadors last year.
Yeah,
at the
you guys are
Parade.
beyond the streets too.
Beyond the Streets, the art exhibit in Brooklyn that's
Yeah.
actually going on now till the end of the month.
Wall Works,
Yeah,
Queens
definitely.
Academy.
Yes.
Yeah, the Queens Academy
And
School.
then
in
we
the
just also did something for American Eagle. It's a new line
With
that
Lil
Lil
Wayne.
Wayne that's dropping. I think
mean,
sometime this week.
What does that feel like? And then you guys are international. You guys just did something in PR, right?
Right, I just went to PR, painted with with Flavor, Rag from Puerto Rico. These are like famous guys up there with ski.
Yeah,
Were you there when they were protesting?
I was there when I was
How was
protesting,
that?
and I think it was really like people really felt that this guy had to be out.
Yeah.
And they went, like you had, like Bad Bunny, like India,
Everybody came
Crime,
together,
everybody
yeah.
came through.
Yeah.
I went there, and my family like, don't go there, because the media had it like, they was like throwing fire. But when I got there, it was like a real friendly, like
Isn't that lovely?
movement. And then,
Yeah.
but the media made it seem like, don't go there.
But it was reported that our protest was the most
peaceful,
resilient type of protest.
It was really beautiful, and
Yeah.
and they got it done.
throw rocks when you're listening to music, right?
And with a good outcome.
Yes.
And with a good
Definitely.
outcome. So
Where's your favorite place to paint?
Oh, we've been.
But here,
You know, we've been. You know, we've been.
I was trying to. I tried, guys.
We've been pretty fortunate that we've traveled around the world. We started traveling in the 80s after we stopped painting subway trains. We started going overseas. And it was funny that the people here in the U.S., or especially New York, turned their back on this art form. But it wasn't until people overseas started to like accept it that we were being accepted. So since like 85, 86, we started going to England.
Yeah,
we've been everywhere. We've been to everywhere from like China to like Morocco, China, all over Europe,
Italy, Finland,
France,
Switzerland.
Do you guys feel like you hit your prime?
No, that's the thing. It's not like we're dancers or like with a body.
Wait. You need a massage. You need a massage.
You just work so hard to get to a certain level, and you guys are like beyond this now.
But art is like wine and cheese, you know? The older it is, the better.
The better it is.
But you know what? For me, especially, it feels like it's
moving your chair.
I love how you guys have like paint still on you guys. I love that.
For me,
and the whole diamond stuff over here, Tats Cru, I want one.
Woke up like this.
Yeah. For me, I think for me, it's more like we still haven't stopped learning or loving what we do.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where
it's not something that
you
master. Like you constantly evolve, your style changes, you adapt to what's going on in the world.
And there's always something new
and
to
there's always
do,
something
right?
new.
Nothing's
so for
ever
us,
the same.
like people always say, "What's your favorite mural?" And we're like, the one we did yesterday. And then if you ask us tomorrow, it'll be the one we did today.
They're beautiful. They're so colorful and vibrant and stunning and like perfectly done. So I just want to thank you guys for showing the art to our communities and just making us such a vibrant borough along with the other ones. And I look forward to seeing more Tats Cru on the walls of buildings and monumental, locations.
We're going to continue. So.
Yeah, I love it. Can you please let our viewers know where they can find you?
Give me a house. Give me a house. They can go to our website, tatscru.net, or on Instagram, just Tats Cru.
They are responsive, guys. You guys are just very busy. You guys travel a lot.
Sometimes, we're out of the office, so it'll take a day sometimes to get back to people. But we get back to everyone.
Any new project coming up?
A few.
What's the next one? I know you mentioned some stuff behind
The next one is this. I have a solo show at a gallery here in the Bronx, Wallworks.
Yes.
In November, we have a group exhibition at a gallery, Pop Gallery. Then for December, we're doing Wynwood Walls in Miami. And we're finishing up some projects with some schools, some local health organizations. I mean, it's just every day is a different, project.
I'm so excited. I have a little bit of anxiety because I'm really excited to talk to you guys. There's so much to share, but we have to end the show. Okay. Hopefully we can see each other again.
Not a problem.
But I know you guys are busy. But thank you once again for all that you do for the communities again. Of course. Thank you for trusting my platform.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's show. Remember to follow me on Missy Essence One on Instagram, realtalk@gmail.com. And remember, each and every Wednesday at 9 p.m., or you better get in line. Let's love each other. Let's give each other more peace. And stay tuned for next week. We'll be right back. Have a good night. Nice.
Your boy Zaxai, aka The New Smooth. I'm here in the Bronx, but I'm from Brooklyn, New York. And I'm here on the D Essence Show. Get in line.
What's up? This is Tats Cru. We're here on the D Essence Show. And I forgot the rest of the words. Oh,
put your hands up.
Get in line. Get in line. Go. What's up? This is Tats Cru. We're here on the D Essence Show. Get in line.